Imagine giving speeches without notes, recalling names or reading faster. You can learn to maximise your mind on June the 16th at Phuket's Ratchapat University with renowned US memory champion Ron White. Tickets available now at PhuketTicketmaster.com. Book now for the full-day seminar on June the 16th. Now we're speaking to the former Honorary Consul for Australia here in Phuket, Larry Cunningham. Larry, you were an enormous advocate for trying to clean up the problems with taxis and tuk-tuks around the island. What were your thoughts last week when we had the coup?
I think I've been smiling from one morning till nightfall with what has happened in Phuket. Hopefully it's not just the tip of the iceberg. Hopefully we will continue to do things, but just today I've heard about Surin Beach, various places there being closed, being against the law, which is always, as honorary consuls, that's all what we ever wanted. We only ever wanted the law to be maintained, and what's happened in the last week has been marvellous, and particularly regarding the transport situation. I think the spin-off from that, I've already seen that the Mayor of Patong, the new Mayor of Patong, is talking about introducing BART buses similar to what they have in Pattaya, which would be marvellous. It'd be marvellous for two things. One, it would help the people in Patong, but the other thing is it would show that the power base of these tuk-tuks and taxis has been broken, and that has been the main thread throughout this whole point. It's been power. You know, we need taxis in Phuket in certain areas. We need tuk-tuks reasonably priced, but these people had so much power, like the jet ski operators. They were untouchables. You know, you couldn't get close to them, you know, and they had all these, you know, people of dark influence, you know, making billions of baht out of them, and it made it very difficult for change.
Over the years, you had to sort out a lot of problems, a lot of them involved with these taxi drivers, fracas with Australian tourists and the drivers. Can you recall some of the events you had to sort out?
Oh, we've had the lot. I mean, probably the worst one was when 4 Australian boys were attacked with knives and machetes in Patong at 4 o'clock in the morning by 3 groups of tuk-tuk drivers piled into 3 tuk-tuks. We still don't know why they were attacked. The boys said they did absolutely nothing wrong. These tuk-tuks laid into them. It was close enough to murder. One boy was actually stabbed in the chest. I saw him in hospital and he had a large knife wound in the chest. Another boy almost had his arm severed with a machete, and so on. And, you know, they were from a group of tuk-tuk drivers that were just, you know, the volunteer police will tell you about the number of bashings of a night that went on with tuk-tuk drivers laying into people, all geared towards this power.
You're also, when you were consul, you were also running your hotel. Did you ever try and negotiate or discuss or work out some sort of arrangement with the drivers?
You can't do it with them. I mean, their attitude is such that they control the lot. I mean, the resort next door to us was blockaded for 3 days by the taxi drivers outside here because a young girl at reception had the temerity to actually arrange for another taxi to come and pick people up. 3 days. The chief of police couldn't move them, the governor couldn't move them. So obviously they have a very strong power base. We've had them abuse our guests, we've had them abuse our staff, storm in here and abuse our staff. If you are a guest here at the hotel and you want to go elephant trekking, the elephant trekking company cannot come and pick you up here, because they'll be bashed and smashed, you know, by these people outside. Their theory is that if you want to go to this is our patch, you want to go elephant trekking, you have to use our taxi to get there. So you can't negotiate with people like that.
The big question, is this going to stick?
That is the big question. That is the $1 million question. If I've already met Major General Panya last Sunday and was very impressed with what he had to do. I know a lot of his secondary staff. I've known them for many years, and they're good people, good men, incorruptible. So hopefully they'll be able to stay a sufficient period of time until the changes are made, because we need to get through to the Phuket people, the taxi drivers, various other business operators here. Phuket has been slipping. It has been slipping with the type of tourists that used to come here all the time. I'm talking European tourism. German tourism is down 50%. Swedish tourism is down massively. These were people that used to come here, and they wouldn't just stay 2 or 3 days like the Chinese, do, and the Indians do. They would stay a month, sometimes 6 weeks, and they would spend. It was good for the economy. Now, they were the first to actually arc up about these horrendous prices and the attitude and even safety issues. It was a difficult road. I think probably the worst element of it was the fact that you were threatened and abused by officials in Phuket for speaking badly about Phuket, as they put it. Why do you speak badly about Phuket? We weren't speaking bad. We wanted to lift Phuket out of the mire. If we listen to them, just let things go on the way they are, everything will be fine. Everything is not fine. And that really has been the worst thing. And I hope these government officials, realise the mistake that they have made, and now hopefully will put their efforts into correcting their mistakes. After the tsunami, many people said to me, Phuket is gone for 2 years. I said, no, it's not. You check the blogs going, and the blogs to various newspapers and everything else were saying, we are so sorry of what's happened in Phuket. We've been there many times. We love Thailand. We were going to go to the Mediterranean this year. We're going to change and come to Phuket. And as everybody knows, within 12 months, Phuket was back firing on all cylinders.
Hey, love your T-shirt, by the way.
Well, this was actually, this is an anti-corruption T-shirt, and quite a few people have worn them. I wore them to several meetings, consul meetings with the governors and so on, and I don't know how they reacted to them or others reacted to them, but I think, again, it's something that, if Phuket could start to be the start of something, Thailand can lift itself out of this corruption. Singapore did it. Phuket is so envious of Singapore, yet Singapore 50 years ago was as corrupt as parts of Thailand. But, they had a leader, Lee Kuan Yew, that lifted them out of this, and now the most successful country in the world. It's a bit too much to ask if we'll be able to do that in 50 years. But I think what's happened in the last week has been a start, and a positive start. It's essential that it now be maintained.
And if you want a good room rate here at Chavard, just contact Larry and say the word corruption.
Yes, we've got plenty of room. It is low season and the World Cup is on, so a lot of people prefer to stay home and watch that. But once the World Cup finishes, come on down. Even if you want to come down now, we've got all the World Cup matches live, so you can come and stay here and watch it in the luxury of your room and enjoy wonderful Phuket.
Glad we got the plug in. Larry Cunningham, thanks for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you.
There's a new standard of luxury on the horizon, a niche new way to live your life without the extra costs. Visit honcho8.com for details today. Affordable contemporary living, luxury redefined.